When our people see the one for making them, when our people then I say, well, when they vote, when the poor people then, if we not get, you see what am I in life for develop? If we develop every day, what did the Quran say? The Quran say, Rabbana antina fi dunya. Why you not say feel like that? You understand? Me na Kaila come on. So they want to buy bread na Kanema for go eat na Kaila and I road with the eater. Now at the Komoya, I go reach na Kaila. We start now so within 1 hour, 30 minutes I don't reach na Kaila. My life don't develop. If I not that to make Kaila, we sabi politics pass una na Kanema. We Kaila, the whole township na Kaila, everything quota. We get light. Water 5 miles from water side, they bring up for winner town. Now that they call politics. Don't know where you get for Tinap in one place, you know, see no benefit partner. Every day then they can't lie for una. Every day when they can't do this. We are not come out the pantry. We are not ever see Motaman, please carry Motaman go. No. But pantry, please the quarter for done. No, so. Now me go left the pantry for let enough for done. Me Motaman for done. No. When this restaurant here is 450,000. Pantry they feel hungry.
No.
Not only they feel hungry.
Yes.
What will be then a power? How much the rest be there?
150.
Now then they can't lie for una say. Now so restaurant in Japan. All the time they make comparison with Japan, America, other people there. You know that they tell una say, una not sabi nothing. Then they tell una say, una not to anybody now use them, they use una. Me I tell una. This time here, I want to not come out except people, but I want to scare them, when I shake them. How do they shake them? When I just vote for the APC candidate. You understand? To go there this day, 1 year, 3 months, we don't left for, let we go for election. I see them, the cow development. We backward in the opposition, one don't give, we get money. That councillor won't give APC. Now, some we said the poor development founder, that's everyone for claim about. I want to do that one day. You see politics, the benefits in a day. Politics, the benefits in a day. But now 5 years London, now 4 years London also. This election will do 4 years London. April where they can, I will do council election. December, January, February, April, they will do general election. Who say one of the benefits now? When I just make like when fly the church, switch shop, as the church and so. You know ever see fly boot shop in a month? It's just a try. That's what they do now. Make us say one. Let me tell them now, say the men they will be fool. Not to win now. We, the wise man are from the east. Me now up Kaila come on. Nobody no go blindfold me now for politics. Most of them when we don't do this election, go see the mighty houses with them. Now we be they pay 35,000 for picking them at school. Girl picking them at 2 times, government will pay for them. You pay one, boy picking the government will pay one, then your family pay. That's for the whole year. What did they pay for one of you picking? Now 90,000. Now they say free quality education. Now when you don't pass back, when I pass back for go S1, what you gonna pay? 500. Exactly. When I come on MPSC for go, what you gonna pay?
250, 300.
How we go call and free? I want me to tell me. Now quality education or na quantity education?
Na college.
This college now when they say matter they can't open. This college when they say matter they can't open. I know I let anybody blind fool now. That college now me they go number as region parliamentary. Now me mobilize people there, but at the Tlahai I make sure I write them all. That time at the Tlahai they as opposition leader. Now me invite them, they go Bonumbu whole meeting.
Welcome guys, welcome. Listen guys, it's terribly cold here, but welcome everybody. I appreciate you guys for joining. And really what I'm going to talk about, as you guys can see, the title of my live is to expose, this. I'm still behind this legislation process. And we start from the top. Again, I want to remind every Sierra Union, I know it's Christmas around the corner, tomorrow is Christmas, but I'm home. the weather is not, really cool right now. Um, uh, so I think the audio was a little bit low on that.
These people want for making them, man. When our people then I say, well, when they vote, when the poor people then, if we not get, you see what am I in life if we develop. If we develop every day.
Perfect. Right. God bless you. Thank you. Concept number. Okay, Brian, please help me with this audio, sir. Oh, Jeremiah. Okay, you got me confused a little bit. I feel say you tell me saying the sound needed some adjustment, but you want this audio. Okay. What I'll do, Jeremiah. I see you've put your number on here. Let me write that. Guys, my live again. Get everybody share because I'm gonna expose this NEC commissioner guy 289340. Okay, Jeremiah wants this audio. Jeremiah, let me just make this note. When I'm done with the live, Jeremiah, I'll save your number and I'll send it for you. Okay. But John Rashid, thank you. But guys, like I said, what I want to do is expose the NEC commissioner again, starting from the parliament, and especially with Kandeh Yumkella. And the reason why I'm going to use Honorable Kandeh Yumkella of the NGC party is because this was the man with Sierra Leoneans we had a lot of hopes and aspirations for. We had a lot of respect for this man. Giving his international accolades and all of that stuff. And people like me, all know the role I play, for Kandeh Yumkella. By the way, I'm just trying to show you guys the weather. It's really rough on my end here, but it's better now. So this morning was like about 10, 11 degrees, although we don't go to the single digits yet, but this is what it's like right now, around the area. So just wanted to share that with you guys. But yes, Sierra Leoneans, I'm going to do this live, guys. Let's share. Guys, everybody just make sure my sound is good. Everybody get me loud and clear. Because once I get into this, we're going to go all the way through. I want to give you guys a backdrop into, Mohamed Kandeh's position that he held prior to being the NEC commissioner and how they violated the constitution. And Kandeh Yumkella aided and abetted in the violation of the constitution because he claimed in parliament that he had, his lawyers. And the reason why I'm doing this live is to wake this man up again, because Sierra Leoneans, you see, people like myself, when we doff we hats to you, we say we're going to support a certain politician. Believe it or not, don't take us for granted. And everything I did when I looked at the resume of Kandeh Yumkella, I had nothing to go off of. But what I had to go off of was his resume and his international, affiliations. This man worked for the, United Nations for a very long time, right? Almost 30 years of his life. You would think that somebody like that, with all of his exposure and experience, if he has a place in Sierra Leone's politics, it would be a game changer. But this man disappointed us. And this man is, part of the problem that we have today in Sierra Leone. And so, I feel sorry for the folks that are sympathizing or people that are joining the NGC as a political party. But I want you guys to know, and by the time I'm done with this live, you guys will see exactly where I'm going with this. But I'm going to take it from there. Why Kandeh Yumkella supported, Mohamed Kandeh to become the NEC commissioner. I want to know, these are questions we're going to ask why they thought it was okay for this man. And Kandeh Yumkella saying he had his lawyers do their investigations to, find out and be sure that, the man was qualified for the position. These are things I want to ask. These are fundamental questions we want to ask. And why has Kandeh Yumkella been very silent? You all saw the registration process, right? You saw how people suffered for during the registration process. All of that is what I want to show you guys so you can see. And Kandeh Yumkella has never condemned any of these acts. He's been very silent. The whole time these things have been happening. We're talking about the verification process of the registration again that has been marred with all kinds of nonsense. We've seen that. Kandeh Yumkella has not said a single word till this day when we saw the sham verification process. And not only that, we've heard that NEC is going to delete. They've deleted 257,000 names, from the voter register. Again, up to this day, Kandeh Yumkella has not said anything. Because, you see, guys, we're going to remove President Bio. But I always say removing President Bio, it's not magical. It's not something we can just wish out of the air and poof, it happens, right? That is not how that works. For us to remove President Bio, everybody has to play their part. Opposition leaders, particularly so, right? You would think these guys have the interest of the people to say, look at the sufferings, look at what is actually happening right now. Look at the petrol lines, right, for fear. Look at, crisis, food shortage, and all of that stuff. People are hungry, expensive. Rice keeps rising every day, the price for a bag of rice, right? All of these things that are happening in our country. Marabio did not destroy Sierra Leone alone by himself. He had the help of these opposition figures, a lot of these leaders in the opposition parties. So this live, I want to go again, take on Mohamed Kandeh Kone and how he became the NEC commissioner. Because I want you guys to see where we're going. Because when 2023 comes, June 24, 2023, that day, the next day, hopefully by the 25th, 26th, we should have known the results and, hear the results. I want you guys to understand what we're walking into. You see, because everything that Mohamed Kandeh has done at this particular point has shown that he is partisan. He has shown that he is there for his political party. Mohamed Kandeh is not there for Sierra Leone. He's not there to represent Sierra Leoneans. And Kandeh Yumkella aided and abetted in the appointment of, Mohamed Kandeh. He played a very important role, in Mohamed Kandeh getting, appointed, as the NEC commissioner, even though the constitution was violated. And which is why that's the first thing I'm going to take. That's the first section. I want you guys to take note of this. It's 2 sections of the constitution. I want you guys to write it down. Write it down right now. 2 sections of the constitution that we're going to talk about. Section 32, subsection 4, A and B, and section 76, 1B. Those are the 2 parts of the constitution. So write that down if you're with me here. But before I start, let me look at the comments again. Perfect. Alassane Kimokai. Sounds good. Thank you, my brother Musa. Sound is good. Everybody's getting me loud and clear. Okay. Abubakar Fofana, we always appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you too, my brother. Abu Sawane, keep on the good job, my brother. Let me just put these comments on the screen here. And because once I get to the live, guys, I will not be paying so much attention to the comments, but hopefully my sound and everything should be all right. Like I said, I have all this sophisticated system here that I'm still trying to understand myself. So it's and I don't have much time to understand them, but I'm getting there. Okay, Alassane Kemokai, thank you very much, Sir Ibrahim, for your good work. Thank you to you as well, my brother. I appreciate you. Awa Kababa Gura, compliments to you and the family. Thank you, Awa. Same to every one of you guys. I know Christmas is coming, but I'm not supposed to celebrate Christmas today. And Jeremiah Sako, okay, wants that audio. So I've made notes for Jeremiah, wants audio. So I hope everybody has shared. I hope you guys, all of you guys that are with me, I hope you guys have all shared. And we're going to start this live, and I'm going to take it from the top, okay? So first of all, what I really want to do, the first thing I'm going to show you guys is the debate at the Well of Parliament for Mohamed Kandeh Kone, and I'm going to show you what Kandeh Yumkella said. But like I said, 2 parts of the Constitution that I'm going to take into consideration here, right? It's going to be Section 32, subsection 4, A and B, and Section 76, 1B. Those are the 2 aspects of the Constitution that we're going to talk about, because I want you guys to see how our Constitution was bastardized, from the get-go, and the role that Kandeh Yumkella played in this. And we see the NGC just had the convention. So, with all of my brothers and sisters back home in Sierra Leone across the world, please don't waste your time with the NGC. Like I said again, because Kandeh Yumkella is a distraction, and Kandeh Yumkella is what's going to cost us another 4 or 5 years of Marabio with Kandeh Yumkella, because if we're not careful, the amount of rigging that has already taken place at this particular point in time, and Kandeh Yumkella being, getting his votes from the north and not from the southern part of Sierra Leone, which means he's not guaranteed of having any votes in the south. The NGC is basically going to just milk away from the northern part of Sierra Leone. And what's going to happen is, SLPP might, they would not win the elections of 2023, but might, because of the NGC as a party. And it's very crucial for everybody that is suffering, all Sierra Leoneans that are suffering. If Kandeh Yumkella would have been very vociferous, very vibrant, very tenacious in Parliament at a time like this, those are the kinds of leaders we are looking for. And people like myself, if Kandeh Yumkella was standing up for constitutionality and protecting the human rights and the dignity of Sierra Leoneans, challenging this government, taking interviews across the world, talking about what has happened for the past 4 years, I'm telling you, of course, regardless of his political party, I would support somebody like that. Because again, what does the Constitution say? Section 13B, Section 13, subsection B, makes it very clear that every citizen shall cultivate a sense of nationalism and patriotism, and that your loyalty should lie to the state, not to your tribe, your ethnicity, sections, loyalties, all kinds of stuff, right? But Kandeh Yumkella, the NGC is a distraction, and it might cost us the elections in 2023. And this is not, me trying to be very sentimental about the fact, but it's me bringing out the reality of what might happen if, you know, people of Sierra Leone don't pay attention and want to fall for, you know, the gambits and the gimmicks of somebody like Kandeh Yumkella in Sierra Leone's politics. We gave him 5 years, and this man has failed us woefully. I could do a whole live on that just for a day, but today I'm going to focus on Mohamed Kanawe Kone, the NEC commissioner, and show you guys the role that Kandeh Yumkella played, you know, to what we are seeing today, which is basically the destruction of our democracy. Because in Section 31 of the Constitution, it makes it clear that NEC has a responsibility to register every Sierra Leonean that is going to be of 18 and a national of Sierra Leone, you know, born and bred, right? And every Sierra Leonean should be voted for, and every Sierra Leonean, you know, should have the rights to vote. NEC has that mandate. That was the basis of the formation of NEC itself. That is their primary responsibility. So with that in mind, with all of that backdrop, I want to take you guys now down this live. I want you guys to hear what was the argument that Kandeh Yumkella put forth to support the appointment of Mohamed Kanawe Kone, going against the Constitution, telling us that his lawyers advised him, and all of that stuff. I want you guys to listen to this. I want you guys to listen to this. All right, that's all right.
But as always they be, the leader of the National Grand Coalition NGC party in Parliament, Honorable Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, think other way, and according to him, now this situation, the appointed NEC boss, not they run for make them vote for him as MP, but na appointment he gets. So the part of the
Guys, I think the place called me internet self. The line then looked like the freeze of me. Or appear me for a moment here. Let's see what's happening. Experience. All right. Give me a moment. My internet is kind of acting up now. But let's set this video. Nice phone. I don't want to see it and hear exactly what I'm talking about. And whilst I wait for this. Okay, let me see if it's better now. All right, let's start again.
To examine Section 32, particularly 32(4), A and B. We spent a lot of time looking at 76B. We set up a team of 5 lawyers, and my lawyers are very tough. Most times they disagree. In this case, I insisted on a legal brief. In this case, they believe, that's their firm legal opinion, that 76B, which is the most contentious issue, in their opinion, does not apply in this case. We speak as NGC. I spend hours with those lawyers. I spend hours with those lawyers in different debates. We organized Zoom calls with some others. We looked at the politics of this position. We looked at the legality. 76B, it's been read before. We are persuaded by the last line. Last line of 76B says, officer or employee, I quote, officer or employee within 12 months prior to the date on which he seeks to be elected to Parliament. he will be appointed 12 months hence.
That is the most stupid argument ever. That just because somebody cannot know or would not know that he's going to be appointed for a position where the Constitution makes very clearly what standards, what criteria should be met for that person to be appointed into that position. And I'm going to show you guys the Constitution. But this shows the level of stupidity and ignorance within the well of Parliament itself, that none of these people will not be able to see that that statement in itself, just because I did not know that I'll be appointed into a position that says that I should have been out of office as a public officer for 12 months. And I'm going to show you guys the Constitution. Let's leave that for now. But just based on that alone, I want you guys to see the level of, just absolute nonchalance on the part of these guys, especially on the opposition, which the opposition made a good argument. Like Honorable Cherry Coco and the APC at the time. They made a great argument. But this point that this man is making, Kandeh Yumkella, it just shows us when people, all this PhD nonsense is crap. When this man for can't tell me, said, just because Mohamed Kandeh does not know that he was going to be appointed, therefore that aspect of the Constitution should not apply to him. That's the most stupid thing ever. But let's continue, because I don't want to interrupt this. I want you guys to listen to everything. So when I start breaking down my points, that's why I say write down the section of the Constitution we're going to talk about. Section 32, subsection 4, and section 76, 1B. Those are the two sections we're going to focus on for the purposes of bringing this live together. But I want you guys to understand again, the reason why I'm doing this live is to show you guys how Kandeh Yumkella, Honorable Kandeh Yumkella, PhD, played a role in the appointment of Mohamed Kandeh today, who has caused our people so much pain. The registration process is a mess. The elections itself is questionable at this particular point in time. We're talking about boundary delimitations, all of that stuff. PR system being proposed, all of that stuff. Kandeh Yumkella is silenced throughout this whole thing. I'm going to break these things down for you guys because I want you guys to see where I'm going with this. But I want you to listen to his argument in Parliament so you understand exactly what it is. Listen.
We've also seen presidents where others resign before just being appointed. Now,
what Kandeh Yumkella is saying there, he's saying just because in the past they've seen other people who just resigned their position, got appointed, so it's okay in this case for him to do the same thing. So two wrongs make a right, right? Well, we know two wrongs don't make a right. So he's saying because it has happened where other people resigned and they were immediately appointed for other positions that they were not supposed to be appointed for, then he's making it okay that in the case of Mohamed Kandeh, then it's a go. Because they've done it before, there's been precedents. So therefore, it's okay for Mohamed Kandeh to be approved. He's making a case for Mohamed Kandeh to be approved as SNEC commissioner. I'm going to take you guys again to Mohamed Kandeh himself, so you guys can understand exactly what it is, his position that he held prior, and everything that happened, so you guys can see where we're going. But pay attention to what Kandeh is saying.
there was an exchange here that indeed, if we have this.
And by the way, I know somebody might have tagged Kandeh on this. If he wants to come and debate me on this one, let him come right now and tell me, make a comment on that. I'll give him a number to call so he can be a part of this debate right here, right now. Right here, right now. Let's continue.
Disagreement on interpretation of the Constitution, we should go to the Supreme Court.
The leader of the coalition.
That's it. That's Kandeh Yumkella's point. All right? Because I'm not going to even listen to this other guy who's the C4C guy. But that's Kandeh Yumkella's argument. Kandeh Yumkella mentioned that section 76 1B, which I'm going to put on the screen because I want you guys to see that. Section 76 1B. I want you guys to see that. You guys to see that. Which makes it very clear. Right here. I want you guys to see it properly. Section 76. All right. Let's make this as big as we could on the screen here. All right. All right, guys. So this is the section of the Constitution that Kandeh Yumkella referenced in the debate in the well of Parliament to verify the reason why Mohamed Kandeh should be appointed as a commissioner. And I'm going to give you guys a backdrop into how Mohamed Kandeh even came into the picture. But before we go there, let me analyze Kandeh Yumkella's reason that he gave for us or for them in the parliament to appoint Mohamed Kandeh Kone as, the next chairman. Let's read this together. Section 76. Disqualifications for membership of parliament. This is just saying disqualifications for membership of parliament. However, what I want to do, let's read 1B. What does 1 say? It says, no person shall be qualified for election as a member of parliament. B, I'm going straight to B. That's what really matters in this particular life. Subsection B is what I want you guys to stay with me on, right? Right here. I want you guys to see this. The highlighted one. No person shall be qualified for election as a member of parliament if he is a member of any commission established under this constitution, or a member of the armed forces of the republic, or a public officer. And in this case, it is the public officer that applies to Mohamed Kandeh Kone. And we'll get there. But I want you guys to see this. Pay attention, everybody. Or an employee of a public corporation established by an act of parliament, or as being such a member, officer, or employee within 12 months prior to the date on which he seeks to be elected to parliament. This was Kandeh Yumkella's argument. Black and white now, guys. This is the stipulation. This is a disqualifier for anybody for become a member of parliament. But now, let me take you to section 32, which is going to break this whole thing down so you guys can understand. Section 32(4). That's where I'm going to take you now. But let's understand this. It simply says, officer or employee within 12 months, or has been such a member, because this is what's critical. This is the last line. This is the last line, guys. Let's stay on this last line. Or has been such a member, officer, or employee within 12 months prior to the date on which he seeks to be elected to parliament. Now, let's go to section 32, subsection 4. I want you guys to see this. Section 32, first of all, from the top says, there shall be an electoral commissioner. There shall be an electoral commission for Sierra Leone. That's what that says. But we're going to subsection 4. Let's go to subsection 4. Now, what does subsection 4 says? Let's read this together. Subsection 4A, right? This is what it says. I want you guys to pay attention. I'm tired of these guys bastardizing, circumventing, altering our constitution to suit their desired objective or their goals. The constitution is black and white. I don't need to be a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I don't have to be a lawyer. You don't have to be a lawyer to understand the dictates of the constitution. It's plain, it's black and white, it is in English. That's it. It says, again, this is section 32, subsection 4A. A person shall not be qualified for appointment as a member of the Electoral Commission if he is not qualified to be elected as a member of parliament. A simple English. It says, this person, any person, no go qualify for be a member of the Electoral Commission if you're not qualified for become a member of parliament. That for let anybody become a member of the Electoral Commission, especially from the commissioner now in the regional commissioners and all of that stuff, for let them become eligible or qualified for all that position within the commission. Therefore, ensure say they meet the qualifications also for become a member of parliament. It's simple. So if that's what the constitution say, stick with the constitution. Now, Kandeh Yumkella went to section 76. Let's go back there. But section 32 don't tell you say, for let anybody, again, for appointment as a member of the Electoral Commission, if he is not qualified, a person shall not be qualified for appointment as a member of the Electoral Commission if he is not qualified to be elected as a member of parliament. It means that if you don't meet the qualifications, we stipulate for them to become a member of parliament, these are the requirements. It say anybody will fall within that category don't qualify at the same time for belong to the Electoral Commission. That's what it's in the Constitution. It's no ifs, no buts, no extra cushion. It's straightforward. It say anybody for them approve you. I mean, I talk Creole because I know the international partners are watching this too, but I want my brother and sister to understand that the break up and Creole. For let you qualify for being a member of parliament, you for meet certain criteria. It says so anybody will not qualify for meet the requirement for become a member of parliament. That the same rule now apply to the Electoral Commission. The same rule. It's the same. It's applicable. It's the same. The same. It say if this you don't meet this requirement now for become a member of parliament, then it's the same rule that applies for you don't become an electoral commissioner or a commissioner within the Electoral Commission. That is the same rule. It said this rule I apply now. That is the same rule this way they apply now. There is no two ways to this. But Kandeh Yumkella say consult with your lawyers. I would love to know those lawyers. And guys, these are the things where some of us we want to get into conversations with. At a later date, we're going to get there. I want to know the bottom of these facts. The rule says you have to meet these requirements to become a member of parliament. And the same rule says for you to become an electoral commissioner, you have to meet the same rule that states to become a member of parliament. Right here, right here. That's it. 1, 2. Become a member of parliament, that they rule this. To become electoral commissioner, they rule this. The same rule to the same. The same rule is what's applicable. I don't know why these guys are doing this to our people in Sierra Leone. I don't know why they continue to do this kind of a thing to a democracy. This is very simple. I want you guys again, if you're just joining me, I want you guys to listen to this. Listen to Kandeh Yumkella's argument. I want you to listen to Kandeh Yumkella's argument so you understand exactly what I'm talking about. If you're just joining me, this is his argument right here. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about.
Party na Parliament, Honorable Dr. Kandeh Yumkella think other way, and according to him, na this situation, the appointed neck boss not they run for make them vote for him as MP, but na appointment he gets. So the part of the constitution where the APC link pan say for all not for qualify as neck boss, no all water.
And right there, so Kandeh Yumkella is telling us when the constitution says for you to be appointed as an electoral commissioner or as a commissioner, it is the same requirements and standards that you have to meet to become a member of parliament. That's what the constitution says. That's very simple. But Kandeh Yumkella was making an excuse, and he made an excuse. This is destruction of our constitution there. This is alteration of our constitution. Section 108 of the constitution makes it very clear. And these guys have violated so many aspects of the constitution. Section 108, subsection 8 says, any alteration of this constitution is treasonable. But these guys have no respect for this constitution, Yaso. Then they circumvent this constitution all kinds of ways they could. It is very simple. The argument is this. Again, I'm going to take you guys back. But I want you guys to listen to his argument before I go. Listen to him. Why Mohammed Kanawe don't become a thorn in our throats today. Don't can become bone in our throats, Pawi. You see, because unconstitutionality and illegality was condoned from the get-go. Who made it possible? People like Kandeh Yumkella supported Mohammed Kanawe to become the next commissioner. It brought him back just for make sure say he support this man for becoming a commissioner. Why? Listen to this.
We took our time to examine section 32, particularly 32.4 A and B. We spent a lot of time looking at 76B. We set up a team of 5 lawyers, and my lawyers are very tough. Most times they disagree. In this case, I insisted on a legal brief. In this case, they believe, that's their firm legal opinion, that 76B, which is the most contentious issue, in their opinion, does not apply in this case. We speak as NGC. I spent hours with in different debates. We organized Zoom calls with some others. We looked at the politics of this position. We looked at the legality. 76B, it's been read before. We are persuaded by the last line. Last line of 76B says, officer or employee, I quote, officer or employee within 12 months prior to the date on which he seeks to be elected to Parliament. We are persuaded. We are persuaded that unless you're clairvoyant, you cannot know that you will be appointed 12 months in.
Guys, you know the stupidity inside that particular argument. Again, if you just joined me, I already explained this earlier on in the live, and when we're done with this live, you guys can go back and see and watch that particular. How can you tell us when the Constitution makes it very clear? The Constitution says for you to be appointed as an electoral commissioner, you have to meet the requirements of what the Constitution itself says. This is what is in black and white right here, guys. It says this is section 32. Turn to me to section 32. To break that argument of Kandeh Yumkella. Let's share, guys, they have bastardized our constitution. Just continuously destroy our constitution. Interpreting constitution the way they just want to interpret it to suit their own. It spoke with all of these lawyers and all this stuff. I want to know these lawyers that advise this man this wrong. We have to have answers to these kinds of things. Section 32, subsection 4, it says what? A person shall not be qualified for appointment as a member of the Electoral Commission if he is not qualified to be elected as a member of Parliament. Now, what do you have to meet to be elected as a member of Parliament? Now, it says disqualification for membership of Parliament. I want you guys to take your time to understand these facts, these things. Now, disqualifications for membership of Parliament. What does it say? Subsection B. No person shall be qualified for election as a member of Parliament. Guys, now English. Plain English will sound like a Creole. No person, nobody, no will qualify for election as a member of Parliament if he is a member of any commission established under this Constitution, or a member of the armed forces of the Republic, or a public officer, or an employee of a public corporation established by an Act of Parliament, or has been such a member, officer, or employee within 12 months prior to the date of which he seeks to be elected to Parliament. Kandeh Yumkella, in his submission there, is saying, oh, well, because Mohamed Kanawe cannot be nothing go appoint him, so we're not going to use this statute in the Constitution. Guys, are you listening? Oh, Mohamed Kanawe did not know that he was going to be appointed as a net commissioner. Therefore, we cannot go according to what the Constitution says. We cannot follow the dictates of the Constitution because Mohamed Kanawe did not know that he was going to be appointed as a commissioner. Now, man, will get PhD, even though the PhD is agriculture and economics, because again, just having the PhD is one thing. Agriculture and economics, what agriculture we don't embark on? What I don't multiply? What you don't grow? What you don't sell for we? Agriculture and economics, if I turn with cacao to chocolate, what you don't do for we, right? Let's leave that. This is a man who is very intelligent. He don't work at the international community. I supported this man fervently. I said this man will make a change in Sierra Leone. Now this kind of man, today, I'm so disappointed. And they break down what they say now. Basic Creole, the average brother man said not Donkey Jimmy understand this part of the Constitution. It says any member or has been such a member of officer or employee within 12 months. What did it say there? It say for let anybody. Let's take example. Let's take one member of Parliament. He didn't have Parliament right now. They want for appointed as net commissioner. They not meet the qualification. Why not meet the qualification? Because if I don't come out of Parliament at least 12 months to determine they want for appointed. So if I don't out of office for 1 year, you know what you do? Because we want to take away parties and hacks. Even though that will not change the person, because some people, who they are is who they are, which is Mohamed Kanawe as an example. But I'm starting with this Kandeh Yumkella first because I want you guys to see, before I go to Mohamed Kanawe, I want you guys to see Mohamed Kanawe was a public officer. He was working for the states, for Sierra Leone, as the Director General of the Financial Intelligence Unit. Therefore, as in the Constitution it states, you will be disqualified for membership in Parliament if you've not derelicted or left your position as a public officer for 12 months to the term of appoint you. So 1 year back, if you don't see 1 year, you don't get no government, you don't get no government job. Basically, where everything is stipulated here. Not a member of any commission established under this constitution. It means say you cannot just take somebody right now, they're in another government position, you go make a NEC commissioner. You don't go take Francis Benkaifala as an example, like ACC commissioner, you go make a NEC commissioner. You cannot do that because he's already working for an established commission that was elected by parliament. That is what the constitution says. And I'm trying to take my time, guys, so I can explain these things. But these guys bastardized that constitution. Kandeh Yumkella contributed to it. And I feel sorry for NGC people where they support NGC today. And if you were one person that was still supports NGC because of me back in the day when I supported Kandeh Yumkella, leave that party alone, because if anything, the sufferings that you guys are going through, Kandeh Yumkella is part of it. Not every Kandeh Yumkella can condemn Marabio, but before they back Marabio. But look at what he did to our constitution. The constitution says, as long as person has been such a member, officer, or employee within 12 months prior to the date on which he seeks to be elected to parliament. Now, so the law says, when you come back to section 32, it makes it very clear. Section 32(4), it says, a person shall not be qualified for appointment as a member of the Electoral Commission if he is not qualified to be elected as a member of parliament. When I see how the two connects themselves, if you don't meet the requirements to become a member of parliament, it says the same rule applies to you becoming a member of the commission. This is the constitution, guys. It's black and white. I don't know what's so hard. Therefore, the 78 members of parliament that will vote for make Mohamed Kandeh become the next commissioner, they've committed, they've altered the constitution. Section 108 subsection 8 applies to them. Your vote will be questioned when the time is right. Kandeh Yumkella supported Mohamed Kandeh. The constitution is very clear. It's straightforward. To the point. It says, section 32, subsection 4, a person shall not be qualified for appointment as a member of the Electoral Commission if he's not qualified to be elected as a member of parliament. And then you go to section 76, it talks about what will disqualify you for becoming a member of parliament. When the constitution don't make it clear, say, for letting you become an electoral commissioner, you have to meet the same requirements with a member for letting somebody become a member of parliament for meet. The same criteria. You have to meet the same criteria to become a member of parliament. The same criteria to become an electoral commissioner or commissioner within the electoral commission. It is the same thing. That's what it says. It is the same law that applies across the board. No matter how you flip it, you make and so, you make and so, you make and so. It is the same law. This law says for you to qualify as electoral commissioner, you have to meet the requirements of you becoming qualified for becoming a member of parliament. Rocket science? No. Section 76, it says, no person shall be qualified for election as a member of parliament if he is a member of any commission established under this constitution, or a member of the armed forces of the republic, or a public officer, or an employee of a public corporation established by an act of parliament. It's simple. Then the last line, where Kandeh Yumkella use for supporting argument, it say, or has been such a member, officer, or employee within 12 months prior to the date on which he seeks to be elected to parliament. Why Kandeh Yumkella feel say, therefore twist and turn this part of the constitution? Say, therefore apply to Mohamed Kandeh. Because when you look back at Kandeh Yumkella's argument, it is the most foolish, stupid, condescending, very disrespectful argument, because it's for people like myself, it's very disrespectful to our intelligence. And the reason why I said I'm doing this live is for come and talk about Mohamed Kandeh, show that the registration process, show that the verification process, how nonsense the whole thing was. But I want you guys to see where we started. Kandeh Yumkella supported the voting of Mohamed Kandeh to become the electoral commissioner. They twisted the constitution. And let me take you guys to section 108 of the constitution. What does it say? I want you guys to see it in real time. Section 108.8. Guys, right here. This is what it says. Let me highlight it for you guys. Any suspension, alteration, or repeal of this constitution, other than on the authority of Parliament, shall be deemed as an act of treason. Then that of Parliament. So the same Parliament that should protect this constitution are the ones that are destroying this constitution. Basically, that's what it's saying. Because when people like Kandeh Yumkella twist the constitution to say because Mohamed Kanawi Kone did not know that he was going to be appointed as NEC commissioner, therefore the constitution should not apply to him. That's what Kandeh Yumkella say. When the constitution make it very clear, for say for you qualify for become a member of Parliament, you for not exit your office for at least 12 months at the time. But they even went ahead to amend the constitution so that they changed it from 12 months to 6 months after the fact, because they know they've committed a crime. But this is section 76, 1B. Now that you guys understand where I'm going with this, let me move now to Mohamed Kanawi Kone. Let me show you guys the FIU. This is the FIU, Financial Intelligence Unit. This is their website. It is a government entity. Mohamed Kanawi Kone was a public officer. It was the director of the FIU. But now, how did Mohamed Kanawi Kone come into being? Now that we all say Mohamed Kanawi Kone is not qualified, was not qualified to become the NEC commissioner. Everybody knows that now. But this is the FIU, Financial Intelligence Unit. Why was the FIU set up? I want you guys to see this stuff. We all learn now today. No, we all learn now. This is the FIU, Financial Intelligence Unit. This is why it was set up. Oh, everybody, let's read together. Let's read this. In 2006, the monitoring and evaluation process was introduced in Sierra Leone to assess the country's level of compliance with international standards in the fight against money laundering and the financing of terrorism. The process identified a number of weaknesses within the country's AML-CFT regime. Some of the identified weaknesses were addressed in the AML-CFT Act 2005. As it were, the AML Act 2005 was reviewed and repealed and replaced by AML-CFT Act of 2012. As a result of this, the FIU was established pursuant to Section 2 of the AML-CFT Act of 2012, as an autonomous entity, which means they get control over their affairs. They take care of their own affairs, right? They run their own, basically autonomous. They run their own. Like where you have autonomous vehicle, like they're self-driving vehicles, right? Like where you get Google and they try to get self-driving cars, basically autonomous cars, right? They can take care of themselves. So every 6 months, the country submits to the Regional Coordinating Institution, GIABA, a mutual evaluation follow-up report highlighting progress in addressing deficiencies within the AML-CFT regime. That report will incorporate the activities of all relevant stakeholders within the AML-CFT framework. So basically, money laundering activities, terrorism, counter-terrorism, right? That was why they set up the FIU. I want you guys to see this stuff. Now that you've seen how the FIU came into being, this organization. Now let me take you to what actually transpired and how we had Mohamed Kanawi Kone come into prominence and him being selected for this particular position as NEC commissioner. It was a compensation deal. More or less, I'm going to take you guys to this article right here. And I want us to read this article together. Because this article explains everything that we need to know about how Mohamed Kanawi Kone came into being, how we can sabiam, how he catch the eye of the SLPP as a government. I want you guys to see this article from Kokorioko, right? Let's read this together. This is... and by the way, I want to give credit to all the folks that I'm using the material here. Black TV, within a parliament most of the time, and Kokorioko, Mr. Gaps Kanuna, one of them people that write about this situation. Sierra Leone's chief minister in hot water, right? I want you guys to see this. Let me have the disruptions there. Okay, let me leave it right here like this. It's best like this. Okay, so this is the article, right? This is David Francis, who is now the Minister of Foreign Affairs. This was when he was Chief Minister. You all saw this article, but I'll read it together, just in case you guys did not know what actually transpired and what actually happened. because Sierra Leoneans, I want us to be paying attention to these things, right? Sierra Leone's chief minister in hot waters, accused of receiving $1.5 million from mining company. $1.5 million was allegedly, sent to this man. The reason why I say allegedly, because we've not been able to this day, get the real justice that we seek. But let's read what the publication says, right? Publication says, a financial scandal of epic proportions is brewing in Sierra Leone, where the chief minister, David Francis, has been serenaded with allegations that $1.5 million was paid into his account at the Eco Bank in Freetown, where the mining company seeking a restoring of their mining opportunities recently suspended by the government. So basically, they primed the mining company. So the mining company give $1.5 million to David Francis as the chief minister. Let him work things out underneath the background and this and that. Let's read the article together. The alleged scandal came to light when a Freetown journalist, Mr. Saliu Tijanjalo, was arrested by the government yesterday after he sent a note to the chief minister requesting clarification about the said money deposited into his account. Right? The journalist inquired, "Good evening, sir. Please be informed that we are currently investigating an issue of financial crime allegedly involving the chief minister. It was alleged that the FIU, which is the Financial Intelligence Unit, discovered the sum of $1.5 million, which was paid on diverse dates in your account at the Eco Bank. There are issues of alleged bribery from a mining company that also requires your response. We are already concluding our investigation, and we would therefore need your side of the story before publications. Thanks, and we look forward to hearing from you." Instead of responding to the journalist's question in good faith, he was invited to the Criminal Investigations Department, CID, based on orders from above, and ultimately ended up being arrested and detained at the CID. As the news of the arrest spread, the SMS note he had sent to the chief minister was circulated in the social media. In any case, it looked like the Financial Crimes Intelligence Unit, FIU, which again, Mohamed Kandeh, who is now the NEC commissioner, was the director of FIU, had already got wind of the deposit in the account of the minister, as indicated by the journalist in his notes to the minister. This morning, an Anti-Corruption Commission official tweeted that the ACC was on the case and were investigating. Now, let's see. What was this WhatsApp message, right? In another development, the ACC has opened an investigation into the alleged cash deposit of $1.5 million into an Eco Bank account linked to the Chief Minister, Professor David Francis. The Commission will leave no stone unturned in its investigation, as it holds firm of the view that it has no stable or sacred cows. For further inquiries on this and other ACC matters, please contact Ms. Margaret Murray, the Public Relations Officer of the ACC. This was from Patrick Sandy, Director of Public Education and Outreach. All right? So, guys, this was the article from this journalist that came out. So now, Mohamed Kandeh was the director of the Financial Intelligence Unit. That's how he came into being. And that's how we got the favor from the SLPP at this particular point in time, because he had the responsibility to report this issue. Because this is money laundering now. This is money laundering, basically. Top government official receiving bribery, basically, of $1.5 million from a mining company because they want to have their license, the mining license back. Now, what happened at that point? I want to show you guys some things here. This was when the ACC, of course, Francis Benkaifala, we saw the chiefs, then chief them, then come out, they make statements like these. Let me share this with you guys on the screen. I want you guys to read this together. I'm coming back to Mohamed Kandeh, but I'll read this. Why the investigation of the chief minister by the ACC did not go anywhere. We're coming back to Financial Intelligence Unit, but take a look at this. So this was a text that we came by. In the matter of investigations of the allegedly laundered $1.5 million between the ACC and Chief Minister Professor Francis, the people of Kenema not only directly and physically threatened the ACC, but they also actually wrote a protest letter to the ACC warning them that they will not allow them, the ACC, to molest their own Pekin. And that was the end of the matter. So, matter of fact, I'm going to put these two letters on the screen here because I want you guys to see this. This is the other part of this letter. I want you guys to see this. I'm going to put both on the screen here. Let me size this other one up. All right. Now, let's put both of these on the screen, right? All right. Don't read it together. The clear tribal battle lines now drawn from the warnings from the chiefs of Kenema to the Bio government to protect their own Pekin, and the social activities also to defend their own Pekin, have the hallmarks of the humble beginnings of what might make the carnage in Rwanda look like a practice match in the United Nations, and every effort must be made to diffuse that. So guys, why am I showing you? These are just texts that had to do with the fact that Kenema actually threatened the ACC that they will protect their own Pekin. Who's their own Pekin? David Francis. Because when the ACC wanted to open up an investigation into David Francis for the alleged $1.5 million that was transferred in diverse amounts into his account at the Echo Bank. Now, let's leave that, right? But I want to give you guys a clear picture of who we're dealing with here. I want you guys to see who this David Francis guy is. What are some of the things he has said? Listen to this video so you can have an insight into who David Francis is, because I want you guys to see how Mohamed Kandeh came into the picture. It was because of these favors that he did when he protected David Francis, the chief minister at the time. That was how he caught the eye of the SLPP. Of course, he will tell you that he came on vacation in 2019 and he did not know he was going to be appointed into the Financial Intelligence Unit. But listen to David Francis, the former chief minister, who is now the Foreign Affairs Minister. Listen to what he said to his SLPP supporters. Listen to this.
This is a new direction, new generation, new government. Rather, they talk about delivery. So we therefore make sure we start with this road here for 2 and 4. But we therefore work with people that wouldn't get interest for transform Lagos. For the first time when we do road, please make sure if they give 100 million euros, if it's possible, use 99% of that for the road. Many people then say you don't do the road. That 1% you put on a pocket, not too bad. 1% you put on a pocket. That 1% you put on a pocket, not too bad thing. That 1% you put on a pocket, not too bad thing. That 1% you put on a pocket, not too bad thing. That 1% you put on a pocket, not too bad thing.
All right.
This is a new direction.
But this is your former chief minister, who is now the Minister of Foreign Affairs. That was what he said then. And this tells you, it gives you a clear mind, a clear insight into why you look at the Auditor's General report today, which first of all, we don't have an Auditor General. Kandeh Yumkella again, that's another live I'll do another day on that point. But we don't have an Auditor General today because Lara Telopias is the legal Auditor General of Sierra Leone at this particular point in time. But it was kicked out and nothing was done. So when you look at the Auditor's General report, over 200 billion was missing again in 2021. But we know even that 200 billion, it's really, how much more can they get their hands? Even though they are really trying to hide. But when you look at the cumulative amount of money that was stolen, I will get to that. Because I don't want to make this live about that. But I want to show you guys the role of Kandeh Yumkella into the appointment of Mohamed Kandeh, who's now the NEC commissioner. You've all seen how, Mohamed Kandeh came into the picture. This is Mohamed Kandeh right here. This is how he came into the picture. Let's talk about that. And why he was not qualified. Because I want you guys to know that he was not qualified for the position. But Kandeh Yumkella said because Mohamed Kandeh did not know that he was going to be appointed, therefore, it should not have to, the rules governing the appointment of a NEC commissioner that says that if you don't meet the qualifications to become a member of parliament, then the same rule applies to whoever they want to appoint as a NEC commissioner. The same rule, the same instruction where the constitution says, if you want to qualify as a member of parliament, if you meet the requirement there, and these same requirements here, and they apply to anybody who wants to become a NEC commissioner. This is the same application. That the same thing this will apply. They change the constitution per week. They alter the constitution inside parliament. Parliament will protect the constitution. But I saw this article from Switzerland I think this sweet salad, I don't know if that lady, waiting her name or Romy or whatever her name is. I don't know if I can get this sweet salon, but I saw this article and, I just to, show you guys who Mohamed Kandeh is, just in case you know Sabi today. But this is the NEC commissioner. Now let's read a little bit about him. Let's read small and about him. What he said there. All right. It says President Bio has appointed Mohamed Kandeh as Sierra Leone's new chairman and chief electoral commissioner of the National Electoral Commission. Kandeh, who is currently the director of the Financial Intelligence Unit, replaced Infa Ali Conte, who was head of NEC from February 2015 to January 2022. Before joining the FIU, Kandeh worked in various roles in the Anti-Corruption Commission, yada yada that. But I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to have an understanding of what I'm talking about. Well, Mohamed Kandeh was the director of the FIU at the time when he was appointed to become the NEC commissioner. And in the Constitution, Section 76 makes it very, very clear. Subsection 1B. Again, let me put it on the screen. Which talks about public officers. So this is what the Constitution says. Let's see this together, guys. I'm not making up the stuff. Let's see it together. What does the Constitution say about that? The Constitution says, right there, disqualifications for membership of Parliament. No person shall be qualified for election as a member of Parliament if he is a member of any commission established under this Constitution, or a member of the armed forces of the Republic, or a public officer or an employee of a public corporation established by an act of Parliament, or has been such a member, officer, or employee within 12 months prior to the date on which he seeks to be elected to Parliament. Kandeh Yumkella says this section does not apply to Mohamed Kandeh. So of all the hundreds of people that are around that could have been appointed as NEC commissioner, that would have met this criteria, Kandeh Yumkella said, no, I left all the other people that will qualify for becoming NEC commissioner. This man, and the only man inside Sierra Leone at this time, will qualify. Therefore, this constitution should not apply to him. That was the argument of Kandeh Yumkella in the well of Parliament. I'm not making this up, guys. That is the most stupid, ludicrous, ignorant, idiotic argument ever. And then people fell for this nonsense. But to the credit of the opposition, and I want to show you guys this, because I want to let you guys know. You see, these were the times when the opposition were actually listening to us. When we talked, they listened. This was at that point they were listening to some of us. When we come out here, we make these points known. They listen to us. I want you guys to listen to this. This is the
APC party at the well of Parliament. The APC party been raised different concern them. We make them see the appointment of the new NEC boss by the president, no all water, and they no go grief for him. One of the concern them from the APC get for do with the fact say the president Julius Maada Bio not been consult them party before he pick the new NEC boss. The leader of opposition, Honorable Cherno Ramadan Majuba, be make this clear at the well of Parliament.
It is clear that the consultations were not concluded. I know that when Dr. Christian Athor, Infa Ali were made chair and head of the Electoral Commission, I know the procedures that were followed by way of consultations. I am definite. Even though we disagreed with Christian Athor, but then late President Kabal, blessed memory, invited all leaders of political parties at his lodge for consultation. Same was done when Infa Ali was nominated. Leaders of political parties were invited at State House. That again I can confirm. Consultation does not mean agreement, but consultation is consultation. We are saying that consultations were not held, and as a result, the Constitution has been breached.
The other point where the APC party make as to the reason we make the
guys. So that is another argument of this conversation, right? And it's talking about consultation, that the president shall consult, various political parties to make such a decision. And we get that. That's a whole other argument that the APC put forth, right? And then, of course, the second half of where the other gentleman instead talked about what he talked about. But this was the time when these guys were listening to us. When we come out and talk, they listened to us, right? But again, the opposition should have taken it one step further. When Mohamed Kanawi Kone was voted for, because they had to cast a vote, right? And then eventually 78 members of parliament actually, you know what, Umar Fofana has a perfect segue to that. Matter of fact, Umar Fofana actually tweeted the appointment of Mohamed Kanawi Kone as well. And that is why it shocks me to see that Umar Fofana has not been even talking about this. But let me show you guys this. Umar Fofana tweeted about this. This is his Twitter page. And this is what he said at the time, right? Parliament in Sierra Leone has confirmed Mohamed Kone as the new head of the National Electoral Commission. Of the lawmakers present, 78 voted for him and 51 voted against. It worked at the African blah, 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 all of that. Again, this was July 20th, 2020, when Umar Fofana actually, tweeted this about Mohamed Kanawi Kone. So I wanted you guys to see this. So it shocks me now that we've seen the registration process and you guys are aware of all of this, and that Umar Fofana has never any report to BBC to talk about this. Guys, make sure you share this live, okay, so people can catch this stuff, because this is just tons and wealth of information that other people should benefit from. Make sure you share. Everybody, go ahead and share. But these are the things we're saying. Mohamed Kanawi Kone, how we get on today, for not reach to this point, when the registration process, for the very first time in the history of Sierra Leone, we've seen our verification process, they ration on our country. Ration that verification, the registration process. The registration was rationed 15 days for the very first time in the history of Sierra Leone. We've never had that before. And members of parliament allow this thing to happen. Honorable Chairman Majuba go dance at the registration. Look where they do a good job back there. Challenge the appointment of Mohamed Kanawi Kone because the president failed to consult with us. 2 years down the line, the same opposition now. If you were aggrieved, if Honorable Chairman Majuba was aggrieved with the appointment of Mohamed Kanawi Kone, but you saw the registration process, you see the verification. Now they're saying delete 250,000 names, 250,000 names. What have you done, Honorable Chairman? Not for the right press release. What was the press release? You have a law firm, my brother. You work with lawyers. This man could have actually taken this matter to the Supreme Court. Even though they voted 78, they could have taken Mohamed Kanawi Kone appointment to the Supreme Court, because Section 76B makes it very clear that you should be out of office 12 months prior to your appointment as a member of parliament. And it states that again, Section 32, subsection 4 makes it very clear that for you to become a member of parliament, you should meet the requirements. For you to become a member of the Electoral Commission, you should meet the same requirements that members of parliament have to meet to become a member of parliament. That's what the Constitution says. For you to become a NEC commissioner, you meet the same requirements. Mohamed Kanawi Kone was not qualified and is not qualified to be the NEC commissioner. That is why you guys see all the chaos. That is why you guys see all the confusion that we have today in Sierra Leone. That is simple. That is simple. That is the sacrosanct fact. Let me show you guys how many days people had to register in 1996 all the way through. Let me show this on the screen. This was beautifully done by my brother, People's Power. But I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to see this. I want you all to see this. This was how we registered back then. In 1996. By the way, People's Power, for you guys that know People's Power, is not feeling well, so Lord continue to pray for him. It needs surgery. He'll get surgery hopefully by God's grace, and he'll be all right. But People's Power is my brother who joins myself, Cashbox Korikoita, on our audios and stuff. WhatsApp, you guys that follow us on WhatsApp as well, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a very fine brother. He came up with this statistical fact, so I want to give him this one. But listen, Sierra Leoneans, for the very first time in Sierra Leone in 2022, in these times that we're living in, the fourth industrial revolution, in 2022, guys, we registered for 15 days. It was scattered. Look at this. In 1996, Sierra Leoneans registered for 30 days. This was when we had the Rebel War. In 2002, registration lasted for 33 days consecutively. Not a break in between, across the country, the same time. Not 15 days in the west, 15 days in the other side. No! So our members of parliament, our leaders in the opposition, General Majuba, Kandeh Yumkella, again, all of these people contributed in 2022 for us to have 17 days, because that basically, even if 17 is 15. But listen, guys, let's read this. In 2004, registration lasted for 35 days. In 2007, President Kaba, registration lasted for 36 days. 2012, President Kuruma, registration lasted for 36 days. In 2018 elections, for 2018 elections, registration lasted for 45 days. 45 days, people register for 45 days. And in 2022, President Bio and NEC gave us 17 days to register. Everybody like and share. Thank you, Bine Suma. And that's a critical point. Sierra Leoneans not a like and share. Sierra Leoneans don't have that thing, but small, we're getting there. That's why Nigeria, the past people on social media, when you look at the space in Nigeria and social media, Nigeria is the giant of social media in Africa. But Sierra Leoneans, we are catching up slowly. We get there. Like and share. Every time you go see a video, especially them in lives, they are in sessions, they are like, share. Other people see how they land, we move on. That's all. Follow, you know, follow, especially if you guys are watching me on YouTube as well. Follow me on YouTube. If you're not following me on YouTube and you're watching live right now, follow. That's how you do it. When you follow, somebody else might see your follow and follow. But guys, this is what is actually happening. So thank you, Bine. I appreciate that. Like and share. Let me put you on the screen here on blast. Bine Suma. But Sierra Leoneans, this is what we're dealing with. So now, I want you guys to see why I'm doing this live. So for the very first time, they gave us 15 days. When from 1996 we get rebel war. Those were the times when we used the PR system, because we were not able to access the country all over. We were not able to access every aspect of the country. So James Jonah asked and recommended that we use the PR system, because he has seen it done before in other parts of the world. Because other areas in Sierra Leone were not accessible because of the rebel war. So it was fine. Guys, I want you all to see these things that we're saying. We're not making up the stuff. So these are the facts that we're dealing with. I want you all to see. So Mohamed Kanawi gonna give us 15 days. So now what I want to show you guys is this. This is what I want to show you guys. These videos of the registration process. I want you guys to see how people suffered. And I want you, whilst you're watching this, I want you to think about the role that Kandeh Yumkella played. I want you to remember the role that Kandeh Yumkella played in approving Mohamed Kanawi Kone as the NEC commissioner. I want you to think about that. But watch this video. To this day, Kandeh Yumkella has not condemned anything. But listen to the sufferings and the pain of our people whilst they were trying to register. Listen to this.
Good morning, good morning. As you all can see, me and Auntie Fatmata, I can't visit one center now, when a PAW center, PAW school. I visit some of the registration centers there, but yeah, when I come, I get for no say the registration process, it will go on slow. I meet one sister who I talk with and one of the other brother. When they say they appeal from the authorities, they talk to the people, they step up their skills there in how the process they go on, because they never go to their businesses there. So right now, there's some they don't tire them, and they not able for go sell, because they say the process is slow. So they appeal to themselves, let them encourage, let them just patient. The authorities, they will see to it that everything will go on smoothly. They will step up the skills there for let them make them faster. And they tell all thank you, una don't take una time, una don't canaya, una patient, that for una country. And once they work for your country, you want changes for your country, you go patient. I appreciate all our effort we can today. We can patient.
So this is just a warm-up to the videos that I want to show you guys on the registration process and the sufferings of our people, right? This is just one of them. I want you guys to see how people suffered during the registration. I want you guys to see this. And to this day, Kandeh Yumkella, they've not said anything about this whole thing. Listen to this.
30 days, machine or people not 30 days. Yeah, the Masanga song. Yeah, so you go not follow register. I make.
But you say they go attention there. We did for them.
So no for.
I dey go school where you not get book.
Look at the place you started in the register. 30 days. We not see none of them it. None of them they not carry it. They don't tell you they say the machine they didn't but none of them will not see the it. Say now will not even register it. Say now no know what happen for Masanga Chong. Say now the north part. Say now no know what happen. What they want to say now.
Again, guys, I want you to see more of these videos of our people suffering to register. I want you guys to see this.
So, Pali, you know the agent not so.
Yes, sir.
So it's not the problem right now. This center, it's not this center in.
Well, this is the primary school Mamanka center, and the problem they will get now about 1
Under whose constituency?
Constituency 068 1248.
Yeah, though it's not the center code.
The
number.
center code number 101233. Okay. So the problem now will get the computer they give me problem. For the past 2 days now, this make 3. Only 21 people are able to register. When they begin the first day, they come off late, and now 13 people are able to register. Yesterday, now when they count down the computer for 12, and some people they count the ID card. When they click the system, then the system no they count down, they appear. So this now one, and yesterday totally the computer break down completely. When they take them for maintenance now, and can't see the back almost the time they pandemic now. At least they go so no work not take place at this center. So that is problem. People they come, they train, they can't sit down, they come, no work not there, and that's the return. That's what we see down. So no work not take place.
Okay, then, so you want to tell me, say, from the first day that the third up to now only 21 people.
Only 21 people then. Only 21 people then able to confirm.
Yeah, Fambulas now they read the authorities concerned. Mina Councillor Kemosi of Ward 248. Now made the interview the agent with there when Ali Kamara. Then for let them really know at the center day and he send this report. So from the third up to now, we not get even a full day operation.
And it's now 123.
And now up to now, machine day, the people that don't come, that they pay them transport and they come up from out to rich areas, then they come, no effective work, not from the third on to the fifth today. So this complaint, the Wale, it reached the appropriate authorities because they say for 2 weeks and now 3 to 4 days now from the third, fourth, fifth, 3 days completely, they do no registration there. So this, once more again, Councillor Abdul Kamoy say, and the agent now, Mr. Ali Kamara, this time Manka Center, DEC Primary School, Ward 248, constituency 068. So,
guys, these are just some of the pains and sufferings of our people when they were trying to register. Young people, them not able to register. We saw them, we see them, the Wazak community. Young man, young woman, them where they be even vote the last time. They were not able to register. We saw it for ourselves in Sierra Leone. Where were these members of parliament? Kandeh Yumkella, I want you all to know if Marabio gets a second time, it's people like Dr. Yumkella that made it possible. And that is why we as Sierra Leoneans have a responsibility to demand and ask questions to Kandeh Yumkella to explain to us the rationale behind violating the constitution just to get Mohamed Kanawe to become the next commissioner. What is the play? What is the game? Sierra Leoneans demand, and we should know. Listen to the sufferings of our young folks trying to vote. Listen to their pains. I want you guys to listen to this. I'm getting to the verification process.
They don't allow you from inside. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Yes, sir. You said now the same issue, eh? Yeah. You said now Wazak today. Old market today. You come for register, they don't allow you.
Yes, I come for register, and they don't allow me to tell them I register at school. Once I go back, so then say, by engineer, I reach there, if it's not even show that. So many money start, when I MC force at no apple, so I go back. like engineer and we face no stress and that the whole day. And then the register now go back to face no show, the same face no car. The way we should go 2017 at the register.
So this man himself getting your own testimony. Yeah? What are you age? 18 years. You gonna go to school? So you yourself what in the apple? You register at school? Yeah. Yes. So your system not show. That you not show up na the system. Yeah.
Now go mount to the place na the same. I can't do it na the same. Now go so you pack back na the same. That the same na the same. They get so same na NCR ya go dey.
See, this one, he don't go to 5 centers then for getting self-register, and as a result of that, finally can go find out say it's documented with face. Even though they come back na the set side them with the slip of the girl, they still say they're not selling the system, then deprive them for they get access. Then say the vote as Sigalim. So far, so good. There one and the people problem that we get in the community, and we self one for the government to say it don't affect the future, it don't affect them and the country, it don't also affect them because they want to drive them not for be part of the process, for them to sell the vote for other.
Welcome to another edition today. Voters registration going at the 4th. On the center now 4237 2020-36 Road 118 inside Bombali District. And as we all see, the voter process is still the go slow. People do not still get access for register, and the one who they register, then they do favorism for take other people who can just come, then put them before as that we don't create alaala for threats and non-people who they register. And the machine is still stand still, the all they snap, they still they capture photos, they still don't start to use them, it's still faulty. And the first time voters, they're still stranded, and the time now for this exercise we do only they come up to 10 o'clock. We people then still they on this situation, so they don't come from from 5 o'clock a.m. up to date. They're not still able to register them for threats and Allah. And because of this, other than they prefer for go now they host, because they therefore go feed them family, suckle them, picking and do other things. So they pray that we them try for settle and arrange the issue of this faulty machine. Thank you. Now welcome to another edition today. Voters registration, one at the 4th. And the center now 4237 2020 36 Road 118 inside Bombali district. And as we all see, the voter process is still the go slow.
Guys, you've seen that. And sorry for, by the way, for the sound. I'm so terribly sorry. I had to mute my mic because, but whatever they talk to me now, something, and that just caught me off guard. I'm so sorry about that sound problem that we had, but I fixed it. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I'm sorry about that. I don't even remember what I said, but whatever I said, I'm sure it was loaded with information, but I'm sorry about that. But let's continue to watch these videos of the registration process because I'm trying to round up this live. But before I round up, I want you guys to see this. Stay with me, guys. Pay attention to this. Pay attention. Watch this. Watch this.
Right, say your name? Kumbakagbo. Kumbakagbo, you say you did Motim, also? Motim village. You come for carry this at Charlotte. Then you don't pass. What your age? 20 years old. You know, first time voters. You don't come for carry register, they don't give for register, they reject, So me people this na Kumbakagbo, you did na Motim Charlotte village. You don't come for carry register, they don't give for register. We don't get for recommend them, the neighbor accept them. And a first time voter as you see, a big woman. You don't pass the age of 18, so you're not good for register. So people are the word that, yeah. Right, say your name.
So guys, these are the constraints that they had. Now you all remember the verification process itself, right? Remember the verification process? After the registration process was a pain, Kandeh Yumkella not say nothing. Then the verification come back. When I watch the verification process, wait it like. When I watch this.
Friday, 26th day of November, 2022. I come to the center around the Waterloo Highway, as you can see. Where African Express report this $10 million scandal. Now the ECSL. ECSL tell me say you work with a work na $8 million, something million dollar. When actual sense na $2.2 million it works. Just look. Now na students away for dinner class. Now the ECSL work. That's what you see.
Yeah, young boy.
People don't check. People don't check.
I don't see.
They better do it. This ain't happening at the center. Currently.
When I see, guys, when I see verification, see the paper in a ground, they gave 4 days. 4 days. And according to the Public Elections Act, the law, now 14 days you forgive people and for register. But this is what I want to share with you guys real quick too. And let us see this. Because just in case, I want you guys to make sure when I share this with our brothers and sisters, them. This is the link the website that was provided by NEC for people to go and verify the registration process. So if you look here, matter of fact, let me put this on the screen. So when I go get the link, everybody go copy the link. This is what this This is the website here. This is the link owner for click. For there, you go and verify your registration, basically. I want you guys to see this, okay? But that's what this is. So right there, this is the link, the website is what we for let you go and let me okay, guys, you see right there at the top, that is the link. HTTPS, so www.voterdetails.nec.gov.sl. Almost salon people able for use this for verify the registration. But this is very important, guys. Write down the dong. When I make sure say when I write and dong. Matter of fact, I copy and the text now. All right, right there, right there. That is the link. That I don't put on. I've put the link. That is the link. Share that with your brothers across the country. Everybody should go now and use that link to verify that they are registered. And if those people are not registered, let the word begin go around. People that want to register, when they go check their name, they not show up, especially they need at the age for vote and they qualify for vote. They are not convicts, they are not foreigners, they are 18 plus and they are Sierra Leoneans. They're entitled to be voted for. Una share this link with them. This is the link right here. This is the link to the website that they need for go verify their registration. If you follow all the instructions, everything shows right on here. I just want you guys to see this, okay? But this that waiting and provide, say, let people go check for the verification. I want you guys to see this. But the question is for this live that I want to pose to all of you guys is to go ask Kandeh Yumkella, why was it okay for him to allow and defend the appointment of Mohamed Kanawi Kone, even though it was unconstitutional, it was wrong. And who are these lawyers? You see, because the reason why I'm saying this, guys, I want you guys to watch these, I want you guys to see this. Watch these videos of Kandeh Yumkella so you guys will have a better understanding. And for the people that are supporting the NGC as a political party, I'm telling you again, it is a distraction, and the NGC might cost us the 2023 elections. And when I see how they suffer now, petrol, electricity not better, the healthcare are lucky, nothing not working in the country. Everything is total disgrace and shame. Corruption at the highest level, corruption like we've never seen before. Kandeh Yumkella, they are responsible. If the NEC commissioner, Mohamed Kanawi Kone, they misbehave like how they misbehave, so people able for register, people able for verify their names them. We see 250,000 names, more than that, 250,000 people, their names are deleted from the voter register. To this day, we don't have answers. Nobody has taken this up to the Supreme Court. Kandeh Yumkella is silent. Why is he silent? Maybe this is the reason why Kandeh Yumkella is silent. And I want you guys to see this for yourselves, because I want you guys to understand that what is happening in Sierra Leone today is totally wrong. But before I even show now why Kandeh Yumkella is possibly silent, when I listen to this, when I listen to this,
we glad if we come, we don't. I don't know they will talk about Timney or Shabu, but we also say we say it. Mbara who's women. What I say, Your Excellency, I will be talking about Shabu, but that one don't forget. The tradition, the chief NGC, we don't hold word. We don't hold word. We thank you for the respect. I pass on to my big brother with the BN. We not been expect that. We don't can you don't give me respect. We hope say one day we say we'll give you similar respect. See there, I don't hold word. I thank you for the respect. We don't can you don't give me respect. We hope say one day we say we'll give you similar respect. See there, I don't hold word. Similar respect. See there, I don't hold word. Similar respect. See there, I don't hold word. I thank you for the respect. I not been expect them. We go dance with traditional dance with a daddy hand.
Guys, maybe Kandeh Yumkella don't hold word to the SLPP. So that is why it's okay for Mohamed Kanawi Kone to continue to violate the rights of citizens to the point where they might not be able to vote in 2023 to get rid of the SLPP that everybody is fed up with. But hey, everybody has a responsibility. Leaders of the opposition get a responsibility to lead us in this fight. They have to step their game up, especially APC from the leadership level. They have to step their game up, lead us in this fight. That if we go across the country right now, radio stations, TVs, taking interviews internationally, BBC, Voice of America, right? VOA, Al Jazeera, all of those places, take interviews now. Talk about the problems in Sierra Leone. Call out these government for what they're doing. call out the wrongs, everything that is happening, so the world knows and so the world would prepare. Because recently we know President Joe Biden has already warned Madabio that he's paying attention to the elections in Africa, especially in 2023 next year. So they know these facts. But still, the leaders of the opposition, we cannot rely on the international community all the time. No. If America they call me for conflict and case, now they don't prosecute Donald Trump, they say they don't find them wanting of committing all kinds of acts of treason against America, right? Because waiting to the Congress they work, the Parliament they work. Therefore, we members of Parliament if we do the same thing. Guys, maybe this is why Kandeh Yumkella, the whole world, now make it silent about everything that is happening in Sierra Leone today. The rights of the people are being violated, and Kandeh Yumkella has been very silent. He's with the NGC, but even with the NGC, I want to tell you again, you guys that are supporting NGC, I believe in everybody having a right to support a political party. You can choose whatever political party you want to choose. You can be in SLPP today. You can be in APC tomorrow. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do it. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe. If that's your principle, that's your principle. But at the end of the day, stand with the country. Your loyalty should be to the country. When I was with the NGC supporting Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, because that was the reason why I supported NGC because of Dr. Yumkella. But when I saw Kandeh Yumkella in Parliament, even though I'm APC, I was born and bred in APC. My history, my lifeline, everything is APC. When I said I saw something in Kandeh Yumkella as a person, let's give him a chance. That was what I did, right? I raised over $20,000 for this man, sent it to him directly. So all of those things that I did for him, I was hoping it would prove us wrong, in Sierra Leone, because I thought that Kandeh Yumkella was going to be the defining moment in Sierra Leone's history, political history. One man can make much of a difference in parliament by himself. It does not even need the APC or C4C. Kandeh Yumkella by himself is such a towering figure across the globe that it could make such an impact on Sierra Leone. But Sierra Leoneans' rights, they've been killing our people, human rights violations here and there. Everything is rotten in that country. Kandeh Yumkella is sitting by, and has allowed the destruction of our democracy. He has allowed the destruction of our democracy. So guys, this is what I really want to share with you. I want you guys to take it up with Kandeh Yumkella. Ask him why he's silent. Let him give us back, these 250,000 names that have been deleted. Kandeh Yumkella is not only representing NGC, he's representing Sierra Leoneans in Parliament. He's not only representing Cambia, he's representing Sierra Leoneans in Parliament. The registration process, we demanded, want to know how many people are not registered in Sierra Leone today. If every member of Parliament can go down in community and conduct a town hall meeting, we can get to these numbers, we can get to these facts. That is what I'm pushing for right here, guys. Enough is enough. Civic education is key in Sierra Leone, and we're going to change the dynamics. Now, I make us say, we give Dr. Samara Kamara a chance. I don't want anybody to tell you just to say, Brian, na power conscious, you power conscious. Left the man. So we're going to give Dr. Samara Kamara 2023 the opportunity. Next year, he's going to become the president. And we're going to watch and see what he does. 5 years on, 2028? Man, if it's the same cry, nothing is happening, complain. Then I tell you I go contest the presidency myself. And I'll count on you guys. I know that. I know I can count on you guys. But there's nothing to rush here. Let us give Dr. Samara Kamara a chance now. Let us see what he does. Let him prove himself wrong. And then we'll take it from there. But 2028, I will contest that presidency if the need arises. And I will consult with you guys. I will consult with Zona. For not go and make that decision. They attire for see suffering. Attire for see the pain. Attire for Allah. Attire for the uptick the Allah. Attire for the up the roof the Allah no more. No, at some point you have to get down and get dirty. That is what I intend to do in 2028. Also, it's for the talk no more because you right, they talk too much, I forgot it. No, give it a chance. I'm going to give Dr. Samara Kamara a chance. I give a chance. Point blank. I give a chance. 2028? Well, I get a long way for going to life. What's that a rush for? No, I just want to see good leadership. That is what I want. And if Dr. Samara Kamara, with the experience and the expertise we acquire over all these years, he become a president when he's capable for now for effect the change where they seek, then he not perform, I for perform. 2028, I can. But guys, I just want to thank you. I hope you guys learned from this. Section 32.4 and Section 76.1b. Now the aspect of the Constitution and they will disqualify Mohammed Kana. It was not qualified. All right. So I'm going to leave it right here. I have to go. You know what? Let me see here. I got some calls from these guys. Missed their calls. Guys, whilst I'm trying to see what's happening here, let me just play this for you guys. Watch this. I'll be right back. Guys.
Do the right thing at all times, regardless of who's doing the wrong thing. One evening, this on a Sunday evening, I was driving down the streets of Lagos and I approached a traffic light. There wasn't much traffic going on that day. In fact, there really was no other car crossing past the light. And so I stopped at the right light because it was a red light. And apparently there had been a little build-up of the traffic behind me. But because there was no other car passing across the road, I started to hear the honking of the car behind me. I peeped into my rear view mirror, and there was a beautiful Jeep, you know, and this lady who was driving it was honking and telling me, literally signaling with her hand, go, go, go. Of course I wasn't going to go. I wouldn't go, even if I could, but I wouldn't. And finally, when the light turned green and we turned onto another major intersection, this lady drove up behind me, and she started to frantically, as she wound down her glass, said to me in a language that I understand, Yoruba, "Uriya we, Uriya, Uriya we." And she was just saying to me, "You are mad, you are crazy," for essentially stopping at a red light. What the lady didn't realize is that I am a commissioned officer of the Nigerian police force. And literally, it's unlikely that anybody would have arrested me as a policeman simply because maybe I went past the light. But I would not go past that red light, not because I'm scared of being arrested, but for the very simple reason that, number one, I fear God. Number two, I love Nigeria and I love the people of this nation. Number three, this is the most important one, I do have a respect for the law. That respect for the law is a respect that I have chosen to give the law because of my values. You see, the other thing that the lady did not realize was that as she was winding down her glass to tell me how crazy I was, she had wound down the glass, the rear glass, and two little beautiful girls were peeping their head out of this beautiful Jeep, looking at this man who their mom had just told was a madman for stopping at a red light. And you see, basically what had happened was they had just gone through their first driving lesson, 5-year-old and 8-year-old girl, and they just learned from their mom that anyone who stops at a red light is crazy. This is essentially how we have confused a generation. And I'm sure you know that there was a time when there was a generation that knew what was right from wrong and chose to do what was right. And somehow they passed on the wrong signal to the next generation. Once that generation got confused, they started to look at what was right and look at what was wrong and called what was wrong all right. You know, the word all right comes from two words, altered right. It used to be wrong, but somehow now it's altered right. It's all right. But guess what? We have now come to another generation, and I think they are the most confused. This is the generation that begins to think that what is wrong is and what is right is wrong. And so we have to go to a place where we restore not only our values, but we put the right values into the consciousness of our people. And the only way we can do so is each of us, especially you and I, choosing to be the ABCD of our values. But first, we have to be the advocates of our values. We have to be the proponents of these values. We have to go out and literally on behalf of the values tell people what we stand for. My great mentor, Dr. Christopher Kandeh, said, it's not enough for you to stand for what is right. You must let people know what you stand for. But then, apart from being an advocate, we have to become believers and behavers of our values. In other words, don't just say what you believe, behave in accordance with your beliefs. And then there is C, be a champion for your values. Choose to make and convince other people what it is that you stand for. And the last one, be a defender for your values. You know, you have to defend your values. Every time your values are violated, stand up for your values. You're standing on a queue and somebody else wants to go past that queue, say something. Don't just say Nigerians. No, say something. Insist that your values, the right values, must also be defended. And this is how we will put the right values back into the consciousness of our nation. Each one advocating, believing and behaving, convincing and defending our values. So go ahead and do the right thing at all times, regardless of who is doing the wrong thing.
Guys, that is profound. That is powerful. That is beautiful, guys. But I think, if anything, that's what I really want to leave with you guys. I want everybody to understand that we have a responsibility. And by the way, this is the link. Share this link that is on my screen here where they go across. So let people use them for verify their registration, okay? It's very crucial. It's very important that they use that link as you see on my screen here so that they can verify their registration. But thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to leave this right here. And let's continue to hold our leaders accountable. Yeah? I'll continue to hold them accountable. Enough is enough. Salone is going to be a better country. That is one thing I know. Yeah? So I hope I created a good picture for you guys to understand and see exactly where we're going with this. But this was the leader of the opposition whilst the registration process was going on. For the very first time, they give people in 15 days for register. Split up the registration. But the leader of the opposition was dancing. But they go say, nobody dance if you just did it no more. Yeah, and nobody want dance if na force to be the force. Registration, 15 days for the very first time in Sierra Leone history. 15 days. What a shame. What a shame. I'm going to leave it right here, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.